Hello, Scoliosis Dialogue listeners. My name is Ron El-Hawary, and I'm in beautiful Recife, Brazil, as part of the Brazilian Spine Congress. And we've just held a Scoliosis Research Society worldwide course on March 6th. And I'm here with the two co-chairs of that course, Dr. Luis Eduardo Munhoz da Rocha and Dr. Andres Luis Fernandes Andujar. Welcome to you both.
Thank you.
Let's start with you, Luis.
Okay.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, some of your early education, some of your interests, and then we can talk a little bit about SRS membership and how it's grown in Brazil.
Well, why orthopedics? I started as a child with, a huge interest in tools, and I was very skillful with this. Like you, you went to mechanical engineering. I did mechanics in the high school, and I still have doubt what I should do, mechanical engineering like you, or I decided to be a physician to take care of people. And along the course, or medical school, I decided that my way was orthopedics. I like screws, I like saws, I like fixing things. That's why I got into orthopedics. I didn't like urology or bowel surgery because I didn't like pumping. It's always leaking. But that's why I got to. Then I decided, no, adult, total joints. I don't like, I like children. And that's it was my way to go.
Excellent. And where did you do your residency and your fellowship? Who were some of your mentors along the way?
Well, I was lucky enough to be at the Federal University Hospital. Was the best residency program at my state of Paraná, city of Curitiba. Then I went to pediatric hospital called Hospital Pequeno Príncipe, where I started my pediatrics. Then I went to Sara Kubitschek in Brasilia. That was a huge rehab center, and we were exposed to scoliosis. And then I got the opportunity to go to US for a fellowship at Atlanta Scottish Rite, and Ray Morrissey, or at that time, already knew me, and Amancio, who was my mentor at Sara, had been. I stayed at Sara for 3 more months for them to be a fellow in 3 different places at that time, and had some information about me that I had been exposed to pediatrics for almost 3 years. I say, well, you better split your time in between me in Atlanta and Tony Harry in Dallas. That where I split my time was really a great proposal. And I came back with much older than other guys with 30 years. Well, I was already orthopedic surgeon with 26.
Mhm.
Then I think that made a huge difference for me.
What a great experience and education that you had, and to be able to share it with a lot of your Brazilian colleagues. I know you've been a Scoliosis Research Society member for a long time. Can you tell us a little bit about how you heard about SRS, why you joined, and what it's meant to you?
The first time I heard about SRS was when Bill Warner who is at Memphis. He came to Holland to present a paper in kyphectomy, and at that time I was not so familiar with scoliosis. But I think 2005, when SRS, because of problems in Turkey, came to Argentina, was our first time. We went there, and we are absolutely amazed with the options and the style of Scoliosis Research Society that we got in. In 2008, we had made a proposal to come out and to have the first WWC when the meeting is going to be the meeting with Brazilian Spine Society was going to be held at Iguaçu Falls, and that's where our relation started.
Okay. You mentioned the SRS meeting in Buenos Aires. I think that was in 2004.
For
And how many Brazilian Scoliosis Research Society members would there have been at that time?
for
Just four. Okay. And
later on, two died. Now are only two.
okay.
At that time in 2008, there were only two.
Okay. And was that the year of the first worldwide course here in Brazil?
This was in 2010.
2010.
11? 2009? Yeah.
Oh gosh. And how many SRS courses have been held in Brazil
I,
over that time?
I think it's 8 or 9. I think probably 9 with this one.
7 WWC and
It's
two
two.
CCSD.
Right.
Wow, that's likely more than most countries out there, and I think that SRS really is supportive of Brazil and South America in general. How many SRS members would there be now in Brazil?
2 years ago, we are 20 active fellows. I think now with active fellows and the ones that have proposed, I think we're about 50.
50.
That's what Marino
Yes,
said.
40, 40.
40,
We are
yes.
around 40. We are the
Okay,
third country with more members in SRS, only behind the United States and Canada, and of course, and Japan.
okay. So that's an incredible number. What have the worldwide courses and the hands-on courses here in Brazil kind of meant to the SRS members and to scoliosis surgeons in general here in Brazil?
I think we had at first time at Iguaçu Falls, people were very intimidated, and I think they got exposed to a lot of information. That's why they became so fond of SRS. And I think I describe like a change of behavior. You have to criticize yourself when you're doing something. I think people got more critical and more aware of different techniques, but also uh, taking care, trying to get the best for the patient.
Excellent. And so, Andres, you and Luis were co-chairs of the recent worldwide course on March 6th with
Mhm.
SRS. Um, can you tell us some of the highlights of that course? What were some of the takeaway key points?
Well, the course was great, and in the morning we had the adult section, and in the afternoon the children section. And the adult section was great because after the talks we had case discussions and very excellent cases for discussion related with the theme or the subject of the presentations we had before, and we had around 30 minutes for case discussions. So it was really great. And in the afternoon, we had different uh, themes about SMA, as you had a talk, and neurofibromatosis, an excellent talk from Dr. Marinos, and some cases for discussion also. So I think this, in my opinion, was the highlight of the course.
Excellent. Yeah, I thought all of the talks were excellent. The SRS members that were
and
invited, and
a lot of interaction with the audience also, which
yes,
was not usual the old the first courses we had here in Brazil.
okay. Yeah, I agree. There was a lot of discussion, especially around the cases.
Yeah.
The Brazilian team presented a lot of very challenging cases. It really was able to highlight the high level of skill that you have here with the surgeries and for taking care of these patients. And I spoke with the other SRS members that came here for the worldwide course, including Manish Gupta, Marinas De Clover, and Chris Shaffrey. And as unanimous, we all felt that we learned a lot and probably learned more than we'd shared with you. Um,
No
you
way.
know, one of the things that I learned along the way was that some of the um, operative techniques and procedures in Brazil are in development right now. And Andres, you had a real strong hand in helping develop some casting techniques in Brazil for early onset scoliosis and helping disseminate that education and availability of the equipment to other surgeons in Brazil. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So we have a program to, because here in Brazil not too much people cast children. and the art of casting is is lost for almost all centers, and the fellows they don't learn how to cast.
Hmm.
So we don't have more tables for casting, and the knowledge is getting loose. So it's getting lost. So we have a very good experience, me and Luis Eduardo, in casting children, and I we planned a program to build a table for casting, very easily to be built and very cheap, made by
Humps.
yes, plastic tubes,
Hmm.
and and also a dolly, a baby with scoliosis and the ribs and everything to training people.
Hmm.
So once this is done, we're gonna train people here in Brazil and create a data bank to database to fill the data from the centers and create a prospective study about the the casting program.
What a wonderful example of learning a new technique, educating others, and then taking it to the next step in terms of recording high quality data for research and for quality purposes over time.
Yes, and we can do this training in every place you want, during a course or during a hands-on course or a WWC or a congress. You don't need to go to the OR to have a child in anesthesia.
Hmm.
So, and that's the key to for teaching and learning.
And how did you learn the casting technique yourself?
I learned in my fellowship in Santa Casa. Santa Casa of São Paulo is a great center of spine. It was the first spine center here in Brazil
Hmm.
in the 70s, but and they used to do a lot of casts at that time. Was in the 90s. So, but for a while, we with the screws and these all these techniques, we lost the ability to casting, and people are forgetting how to do.
Yes,
So we brought this back with early onset scoliosis that we have a very good results in very early age. So uh, that's it.
that's fantastic. And as more technology for early onset scoliosis is introduced to Brazil, I heard the magnetically controlled growing rods will be available here soon.
Mhm.
What advice do you have in terms of how the education of that technique should be implemented? Is there a role for the Brazilian Spine Society or for SRS to help with the education?
Well, the first thing is that these new technologies, new implants, new devices, and uh, we take too long time to get here in Brazil because the agency, like similar to FDA in United States, here in Brazil they take too long to approve, and this is maybe bad, but maybe good also because when these new technologies and devices come here, we already know what went wrong and what are the best indications for it. So the question is the companies who offer, they have to take care about who is using the implants to, because if you start to use in any case with no with a not good indication, you're gonna have a bad result.
Okay,
So the indication is the key to get to have a good result from your new technology or new implant or wherever you bring different and new.
fantastic. I love the way that that your country educates each other, learns from other experiences, and helps disseminate that knowledge within the country. There is a SRS hands-on course in Curitiba in July. Luis Eduardo, that is your your hometown, and I know you're helping organize that. Can you tell us a little bit about that conference and what that hands-on course will entail?
Well, first I like to thank Marinos because he gave support us to be holding this course over there. In 2018, we tried to do one in Colombia and didn't work okay. We have to move to Houston, Texas. And then since then, we never had any opportunity to have hands-on. And I think it's a great proposal from the skull to the pelvis. We're going to have all techniques front, back, lateral for adults, and then for children, deformity, VCR, PCRs. Then I think it's going to be a really excellent opportunity for Latin America, I think. Even though I don't know, I think the Brazilians are so enthusiastic about this. I think we're going to run out of places too fast. And I think it's gonna be very interesting and helpful, and maybe we can repeat this every, I don't know, 4 years or so, and it can be in different places also. But I think it's gonna be excellent, and I think we get people from Argentina and Chile involved too. I think it's gonna be a great opportunity to offer them skills to, and also correct indication and time for indication
Right.
also. Yes,
Yes,
because
it's
it's,
beyond the skills. It's
yes,
also
right.
the indications and
Yes.
the tips and tricks, how to deal with
Timing, yes.
complications.
You're right.
And is this in a cadaver lab or what's the format?
It's talks related to what we're going to be doing in the cadavers. Cadavers are going to come. It's going to be 10 tables. Cadavers are going to come from US at this first time. Maybe later on we're going to have opportunity to have cadavers from Belo Horizonte. They are working in a different type. They prepare the cadaver. They are refresh and they're like alive.
Okay.
For front surgery, well, I say anterior and lateral surgery going to be an excellent option too. But they're going to be is 10 cadavers for 3 days.
Excellent. And who are some of the faculty that'll be involved in this course?
Uh, Kenny Kwan, and it seems that Chris Ames was invited. We hope he accepts. And there will be local faculty like us and some other people from Brazil, and also Rodrigo Remondino from Argentina, Yuri Hatko from Chile, that as adults. And there are also some neurosurgeons that are in Brazilian Spine Society. They're going to be participating too because they are good at cervical spine.
A-
Excellent.
And the participants will have to watch some online presentations before the course.
Okay.
Yes,
So
we're gonna have presentations related to the activity in the lab, but also some case discussions. Like bring your case. There was a session in afternoon of the second day that the participants they can bring their cases for discussion and this online activity before the course.
sounds very interactive,
Yes, because
educational.
yes, because then you can separate more time for to stay in the lab
Yes,
uh, uh,
that
using
absolutely makes sense.
yes.
Well, you two have been excellent role models for many surgeons in Latin America. Just as we're coming to a close, do you have any advice for young spine surgeons in your region in terms of SRS? What may be beneficial to them in their careers and their patients?
Well, André and I were the first two after the four that two of them had already died. We joined because, but we thought it's a different society. They really, there are no tricks. There, you get, I'd say, you are acolhido. You are Scoliosis Research Society is very receptive and want you to participate, spread the knowledge, and that's why we got in. And this involvement made so people so curious here. That's why in a short period of time we had so many people coming in, and probably AO was uh, maybe very competitive before. And then when we start with SRS, people start to see, well, this is a different society. It's a different spread of knowledge. That's why people starting coming in spontaneously. Yeah.
Yeah, I did my fellowship in pediatric orthopedic and spine surgery, and because of him, I fell in love in spine deformity in children. And then I began my practice in 1996, 95, 96, and there was no meeting to learn and to change ideas and experience about spine deformity. Only some little part of the this meeting, like here. So, and then when we went to the annual meeting in Buenos Aires in 2004, we s- we said we saw that 4 days only with spine deformity. Oh my God, this is my place. And since then, we have been in almost every annual meeting and another some I must. And this society is different because it's totally meritocratic. If you work, if you um, if you are involved, the society push you more to get more involved. So and I uh, changed my practice because of the knowledge that I got from the members of SRS. And I'm totally I thank all this involvement because I can take better care of my patients because the knowledge that I get from you guys. So I'm very thankful. I'm very glad to be here and to be involved with society. It's great.
What a terrific message to the young surgeons.
And there's another thing that we learned with you, as you guys from SRS are very receptive in having us coming over. We've been offering certain guys that to come over our place to see our way of doing things, like you do, like I do, and we see that people get really enthusiastic about spine deformities that are completely different from adult, just a herniated disc or a degenerative disease. I think that's we learned with you also this sharing
Yes.
knowledge and skills. Yeah.
And the knowledge is something that we get some run for free.
Right.
We don't pay for that. And we have the duty to spread this knowledge that we get from someone to another people. So that's we are trying to do here. So we get the knowledge from annual meetings and SRS members and spread here in Brazil.
Well, congratulations to you both for doing such an amazing job over the last 20 plus years in educating your fellow Brazilians and even beyond throughout Latin America. It's been a pleasure getting to know you both over the years through SRS. And it was a wonderful worldwide course here on March 6th. And I guess we'll get back to the Congress.
Thank you.
Good luck in Curitiba.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us and see you in Barcelona.
Yes. Thank you.